Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
He just wasn't going to stop. Brand new dash cam video of a police chase that stretched on for miles through Macomb County. Sean.
Now at 5 o'clock, the Local 4 defenders speaking to a Farmington Hills man who says Detroit police arrested him for a crime he did not commit, a case based on facial recognition technology.
They're 100% sure that they got the right person, and I'm 100% sure they got the wrong person.
Now at 5, why he says the department should never use the technology again.
All right, Sean, and we begin, though, with apologies, but no solution for the thousands who've waited 2 full months to get their unemployment benefits. Officials are promising everyone who filed prior to May 1st, whose benefits are held up, will be resolved by the 4th of July.
Now, that's another 10 days when the rent is going to be due, and it, as Kimberly mentioned, it doesn't include people who filed after May 1st. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester live with more. Hank, UIA leadership was grilled about this today at the state capitol.
Yeah, Devin, and you know what? They should be, because it has been a huge problem for many months, not just for those who've been trying to file and not getting their benefits, but also for many people caught up in this identity theft nightmare. Today, we got some answers from the director.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
It was an opportunity to hear directly from the director himself, Steve Gray, with Michigan's Unemployment Insurance Agency.
We continue to focus on verifying eligible claimants first and working to sweep them back into benefits.
He admits there have been big problems with the system and also with identity theft.
Working with the Attorney General's Fraud Task Force will assure that these individuals are protected and that the criminals perpetrating these crimes are investigated and prosecuted.
But Gray says he is confident that the system is not only improving, but that those who are still struggling to get their benefit will get it soon.
For the less than 12,000 that applied prior to May 1 and are still waiting a decision, we have set a goal of clearing that backlog by July the 4th.
This an opportunity to learn from the past, to learn about the mistakes that were made, also to focus on technology and what can be done to make sure this never happens again.
The monumental amount of claims because of this crisis means that there are still tens of thousands of real Michiganders that are frustrated, desperate, and owe the benefits they were promised. These are the people that I have dedicated my career to, and why we will fight past any obstacle we face. We will not rest until all eligible Michigan workers get every single dollar they are entitled to.
And what it really comes down to is that the technology that was in place when so many people were filing just could not handle more than 1.5 Michiganders all working to try to get their benefits at the same time. Having said that, Steve Gray says he believes that most people will be online and taken care of by mid-July, but for those still waiting, that is little consolation. Also, many wondering, when in the world is UIA going to start opening their local branches and their offices? After all, Secretary of State back online. Today, we did not get an answer. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank.
All right, Hank, we need to get to breaking news now from Detroit's east side, which is where crews are battling this apartment fire. This is in the area of East Grand Boulevard and Agnes. We do not know much about how this started or whether there's anyone inside at the moment, but as you can see, this is fully engaged with flames pouring through the rooftop right now. We're working together to learn more, and just as soon as we have an update for you, we will pass it along. But that's again on Detroit's east side right now. All right, now to our first look at police dash cam video of a chase last night in Macomb County.
And what you can't see here is there is a 1-year-old child in that truck. Victor Williams takes us through the video and shows us everything police did to get that driver to stop.
Well, police say it all started when they were dispatched to this Panda Express because of a domestic disturbance. But from there, a high-speed chase spilled out into the streets, spanning over several jurisdictions. But thankfully, no one was hurt.
The driver decided that he was going to take off and flee from the police with his wife and his 1-year-old child in the back of the truck.
At 7:45, police got the call about a couple fighting with each other and their custody a 1-year-old child. Witnesses say that the man also had an object that could have potentially been used to cause harm.
Also, they were told that a male subject involved had a stick, so possibly a weapon.
Police started chasing the Ford F-350 for miles with hopes of keeping the female passenger and child inside safe. Multiple police agencies in nearby areas ended up shutting down the roads, and officers were eventually able to bring the suspect down with stop sticks, causing a crash on North River Avenue.
And he ended up crashing into a fence. Officers ended up taking him in custody, and in the mix of doing that, our officers were really diligent about removing the 1-year-old and the wife out of the car.
Lieutenant Mario Bastinelli says that shockingly, it appears that all of this was done to test the limits of the law.
Come to find out, this gentleman was making statements prior to the officers making the stop that he wanted to see how far he could push officers. Very dangerous situation in pursuits, and which could have ended up tragically, ended up being a great scenario, the best scenario could be, and the guy was taken into custody without anybody being hurt.
And the captain would like to thank every single agency that assisted in making a very clean arrest. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Indeed, Victor. Okay, thank you. An investigation is underway after a noose is found inside Grosse Pointe South High School. A construction worker found the noose in a room during a safety walkthrough last night. No students or staff have been at the high school for at least 3 weeks while construction continues. The district says Turner Construction Company recently held an open discussion on race with various contractors. Coming up at 6, you'll hear the district's reaction on last night's discovery.
The humidity is gone, and it has been absolutely beautiful outside today.
Yeah, we'll take 70s in late June because we know it won't last. Let's get over to Ben and see what's coming up tonight. Hi, Ben.
Hi, guys. This may be heresy to say this, but it almost feels like football weather outside. You've got the sunshine and the cool, crisp air and just some of those white, puffy clouds in the afternoon. But I'll tell you, there have been a couple showers. You see it on the Storm Tracker 4. Notice that the strike counter there is at 0. No thunderstorms today, nor do we expect any. Just a couple sprinkles left there in the west zone. I noticed the clouds out the window here getting a little dark. You can see a shower down there downriver towards Trenton. But these will fade as we get through the evening hours tonight. We're looking for 70s to move into 60-degree territory and eventually 50s for low. Humidity will stay low at least for the next coming days. But when the heat starts to build, we've got severe thunderstorms we're tracking too by the end of the week. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. Guys.
Okay, Ben. A firefighter is hurt as crews battled 2 house fires on Detroit's west side. The fires happened on Parkdale Terrace in the area of Warren and McGraw. We saw the firefighter being helped away from the scene. He was treated and released after being hurt when a chimney collapsed. The homes were vacant. Right now we're working to find out how those fires started.
Today's new coronavirus numbers show a significant rise over yesterday. 323 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in Michigan, and that is the largest single-day total that we've seen since back in May. And sadly, another 4 people have lost their lives to it in the last 24 hours. But meanwhile, in a growing number of states, COVID-19 infections are reaching all-time highs.
23 states are reporting an increase in cases of 25% or more over the last 2 weeks. Texas, Arizona, and Florida are reporting record levels of new infections and more hospitalizations. The surge pushing governors in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut to require visitors from areas considered hot spots to quarantine for 14 days if they travel to the region.
This is what we've got to do to make sure that our region stays safe and our state stay safe.
We're now seeing a disturbing surge of infections.
There's word tonight that the European Union is considering a travel ban on American travelers because of the increase in coronavirus cases across the country.
A bill aimed at keeping some of our state's most vulnerable people from being exposed to COVID-19 cleared a hurdle in the state Senate.
Check out this chart from clickondetroit.com. 34% of all COVID-19 deaths in Michigan have come from inside nursing homes and long-term care facilities. And that bill would bar COVID-19 patients from being placed in Michigan nursing homes. Let's get to Larry Spruill. He's live tonight with what the governor is saying about all of this. Larry?
Yeah, Kimberly and Devin, we talked for about 10 minutes, and she tells me that she was simply following the science and the guidelines from both the CDC when this all first started. Now, it's true, the Senate did pass the bill earlier today, but the governor has the final say-so.
Heads to the House, and that chamber needs to go ahead and pass it.
Michigan State Senator Peter Lucido tells me today is a good day.
The Senate took a vote on Senate Bill 956, which allowed COVID patients that are positive not to be put into nursing homes ever again with those that are non-COVID.
And his Senate Bill 956 passed through Michigan Senate with no problem.
We needed this more than ever because of the following. We were having too many elderly, most vulnerable people get the disease and die.
That's why Senator Lucido says he had to fight Governor Gretchen Whitmer's original nursing home decision that allowed elderly patients with COVID-19 to live in the same facility as patients without COVID-19. Lucido says that just did not make sense.
Let's be real, Larry. At the end of the day, I had 2 doctors testify before the Health Policy Committee, and they unequivocally said, this is not a standard of care that we could support.
Thank you so much for taking time.
Wednesday, I talked to Governor Whitmer via Zoom.
What do you say to your critics that criticize you on your nursing home with putting people who have the disease and don't have the disease in the same facility, in the same nursing home? What do you say to those critics?
Yeah, I would say, we need to remember where we were 10 weeks ago when we were seeing exponential growth, where we had hospitals that were at capacity, where we only had enough PPE for a shift worth, that we were following what should be the gold standard, which is the CDC standard, and that's what we were following at the time.
And the governor says she was then and is now simply trying to keep everyone safe.
In retrospect, are there things that we could do with all the information we now have? Absolutely.
And so you may wonder what happens next. Well, it did pass in the Senate today. It moves on to the House. If it passes the House, then it will go to the governor's desk. She then has the option of signing it or vetoing it. We're live on the Detroit East Side tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Larry, just clear up some confusion for me here. Were the nursing homes ordered or forced to mix the patients?
Yeah, and so I asked Governor Whitmer that same question. She says no, the nursing homes were not forced by the state to accept patients with COVID-19. They simply did that on their own. Kimberly?
So voluntarily. Okay. Larry, thanks.
A federal judge gave them the green light to reopen.
Yeah, new tonight what local gyms are doing to get ready and why the decision isn't sitting so well with one gym owner we talked to.
Also, a major surprise in court involving ex-Macomb County Clerk Karen Spranger. Sean.
A Farmington Hills man tells the Local 4 defenders Detroit police arrested him, the case based only on facial recognition technology.
I said, I hope you don't think all black people look alike. Hope you don't think all black people look alike.
But he says that technology got it wrong and police arrested the wrong person of color.